Streetlights flickered like dying stars, and echoes from the sold-out concert spilled into the parking lot. Maya stood near the exit, clutching her phone, waiting for her ride. She was 22, full of plans and glowing with the kind of joy that only comes from feeling seen for the first time in your life. That night, she'd sung every lyric at the top of her lungs, convinced she was finally stepping into something bigger than herself. She never made it home. By morning, her name was already sliding into familiar rhythm of neglect. Police reports labeled her a possible runaway. News anchors barely pronounced her name correctly. Online comments whispered the same tired excuses. She probably left on her own. These things happen. Maya Thompson, black, young, ambitious, was quietly filed away as another statistic no one felt urgent about solving. But her mother, Lorraine Thompson, never believed that lie. For 15 years, Lorraine carried the weight of unanswered questions. She worked double shifts, plastered missing posters on light poles, and sat across from detectives who barely looked up from their desks. One officer even sighed and said, "Mrs. Thompson, sometimes people just disappear. You have to let go." Let go, as if a mother could. What Lorraine didn't know was that the night Maya vanished, powerful people were already closing ranks. Security footage from the venue went missing. A witness statement was misplaced. A man with influence, a well-connected promoter named Richard Hale, was quietly removed from file. He'd been seen talking to Maya near the exit, but his name never made it into the final report. Richard Hale wasn't used to being questioned by anyone. He owned venues, sponsored officers' charity events, and donated to political campaigns. When Maya's name came up, he laughed it off. Just another girl who wanted attention, he'd said. And the system, built to protect men like him, nodded along. Years passed. Maya's case went cold. Until one rainy afternoon, 15 years later, when an estate sale in a quiet suburb changed everything. The house belonged to Richard Hale. He died suddenly, leaving behind rooms full of memories no one wanted. Among dusty furniture and old records, a volunteer named Elena found a small photo album wedged behind a shelf. It wasn't labeled. The cover was worn, as if it had been handled often, and hidden just as much. Inside were concert photos, backstage passes, smiling faces. And then, halfway through the album, Elena froze. There was Maya, older than the photos Lorraine remembered, but unmistakably her. Same dimple, same scar above her eyebrow. In one photo, Maya stood stiffly beside Richard Hale, her smile forced, her eyes screaming something the camera didn't catch. In another, she sat on a couch, staring straight into the lens with an expression that made Elena's chest tighten. This wasn't a runaway. This was a prisoner. Elena did what the system hadn't done in 15 years. She called it in. When Lorraine was summoned to the station again, she expected disappointment. Instead, a young detective slid the album across the table. Lorraine's hand shook as she turned the pages. The room seemed to shrink, the air thick with grief and rage, and something else, validation. "I told you," Lorraine whispered. "I told you she didn't leave." For the first time, no one argued. The album exposed more than just Maya's fate. It exposed the cover-up. Investigators reopened the case. And suddenly, the same officers who once dismissed Lorraine were scrambling to explain missing evidence. Security logs resurfaced. Emails tied Richard Hale to threats and hush money. Witnesses, now older and braver, stepped forward. The power shifted. What had once been a nameless missing girl became a symbol of everything the system had ignored. Protests erupted outside the venue that still bore Hale's name. Media outlets that once stayed silent now ran headline after headline. But justice didn't come easy. Some records were still sealed. Some names were still protected. And Maya, wherever she was, had never been found. Then came the final blow. Hidden in the back of the album was a loose photograph, not yet released to the public. On the back, written in fading ink, were 4 words that stopped the investigation cold. "If anything happens, look here." Below it was a location, coordinates, an abandoned storage facility miles outside the city. Police rushed to the site, media vans close behind. Lorraine stood behind the tape, her heart pounding louder than the sirens. After 15 years, the truth was finally clawing its way into the light. Officers broke open a rusted door. Inside were boxes, personal items, clothes, a cracked phone, and beneath it all, a locked metal case no one had the authority or courage to open just yet. The crowd held its breath, because whatever was inside, that case didn't just hold answers about Maya Thompson. It threatened to expose everyone who helped make her disappear. And as the camera zoomed in on the dented lock, one question hung heavy in the air. Was Maya still alive, or had the truth come too late? To be continued. Subscribe her for part 2